can help you make more money. Exercise your way to more money. How about that? Our noon, our noon at Friday is usually about entrepreneurship, but today I thought that we should talk about fitness, getting that exercise on, because as entrepreneurs, we need to be as fit as we can. And when I saw the research that people who exercise regularly make more money, it should make us run out the door. We should just run down the street. Just keep on exercising, right? It should make you just want to exercise all the time, right? I know you should just get excited because people who, and this is according to research, that people who exercise make more money. Yeah, that I couldn't make this stuff up. I this is true. I'm not. Yeah, yeah, yes, indeed. Let me tell you, this is extensive study. Like I'm just gonna go directly to them. It says those who exercise regularly make $25,000 more than those who don't. Study finds. Yes, indeed. A new survey of 2,000 Americans examined the correlation between physical activity levels and lifestyle impacts and found that those who make exercise a regular habit are happier and make more money than those who do not. Come on now. It says, with those who say they exercise regularly making 75,000 on average, and those who say they never exercise making 49,000. That's $25,000 difference. Who's going to get to the gym? Somebody that's complaining that they don't make enough money has got to get to the gym. What's up with that? Yes. So make sure the next time that I get like a comment from somebody and they go, well, I want to increase my income, I'm going to make sure that I encourage them to get their fitness on. Huh? Right? How you doing, Mr. Pittman? Thank you. Indeed. Thank you. That we're going to realize that the better that you feel, and it makes sense that if you're feeling good, that you feel energized, that you get into the workplace, especially if you're an entrepreneur like myself and you got to get out there and work hard and you got to be on top of your game and you've got to come up with new ideas and you've got to make sure that you're on top of the marketplace, that you got to know what's going on Wall Street. You got to know what's going on on your street and everything in corporate America, and what's happening now and what's going to be happening down the road, and you have to think about it at the same time. Stay calm and be positive. What can make you feel better than your health? So and there's just a commitment to your continuous health is what exercise is all about. But I think that it would be I would be wrong to not go back to the root of this. So let me start from the beginning. The 10th principle of Afroeconomics is Black health and Black wealth. Because Afroeconomics is grounded in our whole self, the every part of us. At the core of it, the fifth principle is our relationship with God. And when we're at our healthiest state, when we're eating foods that is feeding our soul, that is feeding our mind and keeping us, clear minded and doing habits and living a life that feels good, like, and that exercise is such a good part of that. And Afro economics is about learning that we're a whole person. No, and what sometimes we want to feel like we can just work and make money and leave God out and leave our health out and leave our purpose out and leave our organization out and leave discipline out, and we can't. So, this Friday, I wanted to make sure that I just, make sure that I reminded us that the 10th principle of Afro economics is Black health and Black wealth. And the connection between that exercise can help you make money. And the research has shown that people who exercise do make more money. But I don't think it's merely because a person that exercises, makes more money. Like, it's not as simple as that. Like, oh, well, if you get up and you start getting on the treadmill, you'll make more money. And somebody's going to think that's it. Like, just get up, get on the treadmill, and you're going to make more money. Or you get up and, bench press every day, you're going to make more money. No, it's deeper than that. The research actually showed that it even goes into the intensity of the exercise. That a person who exercised very hard, like a person who had intense exercise on a regular basis, actually made more money than a person who did moderate exercise on a regular basis, and a person who just got up and moved on a regular basis made less money. But a person who never exercised, in the research, tended to make the least of all in the research. So check that out. So what would you think, like, is in the characteristics of this person? And I would love to get your feedback here. Like, what is the characteristics of a person who would be this intense exerciser? The person that's like more likely to be really trying hard. Like, that's, every time when they exercise, they're putting out a more consistent hard work. They really try hard. What are they more likely to do when they're doing work for you or when they work with you? They're more likely to be a hard worker for you. They're more likely to not be the person that's, oh wow, it's Friday at noon. I don't have any, I don't have any time to like finish paperwork. How you doing, Mr. Jones? Aren't you in the studio? What's going on? You're supposed to be in the studio. They're like, if you're Mr. Jones is the type that like rides a bike around DC, getting it in, where there's someone who's like just chilling, walking around DC. He's like, I gotta ride my bike. I want to get it in. So if he's more likely to be the type that's like wants an intensity around DC, then What's that? Like, he's a hard worker. He's going to want, so when he's that hard worker and is going to continue to, if he's I got to do 2 more calls today. I got to see 3 more people today. How are you doing, Mr. Jefferson? 5 more people today. Then what is he going to do? I thought you were going to say it wouldn't let you in. What's up with that restream? That he's more likely to do that, then he's more likely to be the highest income worker, the income level person. So they're saying that the research showed that the person who was exercising at that highest level, on a regular basis of intensity, that he or she that is pushing themselves to the highest level regularly, is the one who was making the highest income level, according to their research. That was like really interesting to me. That and it showed that those who have a higher intensity level tend to be more well off in the salary department. That's what it says. If you consider yourself someone, I'm reading from their study, who typically does a low intensity workout, sessions with normal routine, throwing high intensity into your normal routine could stand to net you an extra. Always said putting some high intensity in there could help you make an extra $13,000 a year. It's saying that if you put some high intensity in there, it could increase your income by $13,000. That's something. It said those who typically had a low intensity workout made $54,000 compared to a medium intensity exerciser who made $67,000, and the high intensity exerciser made the $83,000. But the money wasn't the only area of their life that benefited from the regular exercise, because it said that the regular exerciser also got more sex. That's what it says. The regular exerciser also had more sex. In fact, 30% of those who regularly exercise had sex several times a week, compared to just 15% of those who never worked out. 1 in 4 of those who never worked out also never had sex, compared to those in 20%, 5% who exercise often. So the attitude and mentality aspects of life. Look, and they're all like, just so you know, I'm not making this up, Mr. Jones. He's like, I can see your face. You're like, JB, I'm not making it up. I'm just gonna share, but then you wouldn't be able to see the words anyway. But this is from an article, 2021 Digital SWNS Digital, and those who regularly exercise make $25,000 more than those who don't. And the and it says, let's tell you, September 2021. Okay. Attitude and mentality are further aspects of life that are greatly affected by regular exercise. Those who exercise regularly are more likely to consider themselves confident, goal-oriented, and risk takers. So it can help you also if you are like trying to expand yourself in business, setting new goals in life, trying to accomplish more, right? Trying to get ahead, trying to move forward in your life. You want to achieve more. You want to expand yourself as a person. You want to meet new people. You want to get your confidence up. Exercise, right, Miss Davis? You were trying to come into. That's what Mr. Jones said. That it's buffering. What does that mean? Let me try. Let me do. You know what? I think there's a way. I think there's a way. Okay. Look at this. Look at this. In a way. Use that. Try that. Can you see that link? Try that link. And then use that link. So check this out. Oh, let me go back to that. And so mentality, attitude and mentality, you just want to feel like you can do anything. And then, you all know, like I believe that, that I advocate that. I feel that way with powerlifting. I feel like with powerlifting, it makes me just feel that that being strong physically, it makes me feel that I'm stronger mentally. Like the other day when I went, how you doing, Miss Anderson? I wore these pants to the gym that I had never worn before, and they were like these like pants that like I see people wear all the time on social media, and I typically wear shorts, but I see like women wear these pants all the time on social media, like those like leggings to the gym all the time. And I was like, well, I'm gonna wear leggings to the gym too, like, cause they look good. So I wanted to wear leggings, but when I was wearing the leggings, I couldn't do my squat. Like they were just like stuck. I was like, ugh. So look, me and my trainer were like, what's up? And I was like, I don't know. Like, and all day long, I was feeling like, I don't know, am I losing it? Like, not all day long, but like before, like, I don't know, a good 30 minutes, I felt like I was losing it. So, because I was like, why can't I do my squat? So what I'm saying is like, there is a certain mental connection between like, I feel good knowing that I, can squat so much weight. And then when I felt like I couldn't, I had to like seriously analyze like what has changed between one day to the next. And I had to realize that those pants are so tight that they're impeding me from being able to bend down. I mean, they were so tight. They were like stopping me from being able to get back, like push back. And so I was like, I was like, it was the pants. I mean, like literally, they were stopping me from being able to push my body back and bend. So there is a connection between being and feeling powerful and feeling like you can do like things that like make you feel good about yourself. Like it really makes me feel powerful knowing that I'm strong and I can do things. Oh my goodness, Mr. Joe's like skin tight. It was tight. Like we are actually wearing things that are tighter than our skin. Like you saw like with Deion Sanders, when I was reading about, like, he lost 2 toes the other day, and they were talking about, like, that his fascia, which is your skin, like, we are all covered with fascia. That is our skin, like, so when his fascia got so swollen on his body that they had to cut it. They had to cut it, when he had the blood clot, that they had to cut it to allow him to get out. And, like, we could actually be wearing, which I was wearing, stuff that wasn't allowing my muscle to expand. It was, my muscle was trying to get through, and the fabric, that clothing was compressing my muscle. And that's what it was doing to Dion. They were saying his actual skin was compressing his muscle. So they had to cut his skin. Like, and so that actual fabric was compressing my muscle, that I couldn't do my squat. But it's scary to think that we might actually be wearing clothes that is compressing our natural muscle makeup of our bodies, so it could be hurting our ability to grow, for our bodies to develop naturally. But because because of the fabric is, like, to be holding us in. I mean, it was pushing my muscle in when my muscle wanted to come out and help me. It wanted to come out. So we should be careful on the things that we're wearing too, that make sure that it is. I was actually, so that we can, exercise, because there's certain things that we're actually doing to our bodies in our community that is actually stopping us from being able to exercise. That is really frightening. If you think about it, that I was looking at some things on social media where it was promoting getting a surgery, and cutting, doing the BBLs, the butt lifts, and you will cut yourself. So if you cut yourself, you're not going to be able to exercise anymore to that same degree. So what are you going to sacrifice? And then she was saying that if you do this cut, then I will she was doing a roll, and she said, then I will roll out the fat on your body, so that you won't have to work out and exercise. I will just roll it and melt it for you. And it's just going to come back, unfortunately. But she's like, I will roll it and melt it for you after you do this surgery with us. And I will cut this out. But they're deforming you. That's what they're not admitting. They're deforming you. And it will not give you the advantage that exercise will give you. The look that surgery will give you will not give you the benefit that exercise will give you. So if you look like you exercise, is not the benefit that exercise will give you. See, because what this research is telling you is that exercise is giving you the benefit of making money, but it's talking about the discipline change. That's what it's talking about. Like, even if a person, were a stripper, but they never exercised, they could not really make the money of a successful stripper that exercised, because a stripper that exercised would be strong and she would make much more money. than one who did not exercise. Correct. I know y'all can't talk to me, but right? Because one that exercised could actually do her job well. And she would not have the scar tissue that would be shown on one who did it through surgery, who just looked that way, but she could not actually do her job as well as a person who exercised. So we really need to know that what we're talking about here is the mental development, the physical development, and the discipline development that exercise gives a person that is required, and what is done through how the actual money is created through exercise. Not just exercise creates money, or a particular look creates money. No, we're talking about character, discipline, sacrifice, your confidence that's created through actually taking time for yourself. And the exercise is what got you there. And a person who exercises is more likely to be a person who creates better eating habits also. A person who exercises is more likely to just become more disciplined, and they're going to want to eat better. They're going to want to have better eating habits. They're going to want to, like, I did all of that exercising. They're less likely. Now, granted, there are going to the end of time, be people who go to the gym, because I definitely know there was a time where I was guilty of it too. Go to the gym and then go and eat ridiculously processed food. And there's nothing that is going to actually show up from your work at the gym when the food and everything that you're putting into you is toxic. Because you can't see your effort when everything on input is toxic. Even mentally. No, when everything is just negative, it's just not going to show up. It's just not going to show up. But when the food choices and the mental connection is clearly there, all of a sudden the food choices will be reflected, and the true health benefit of your holistic life will show up. It will show up. And then you will not want to damage yourself. You will not want to do anything that's going to pull away from your better life that you'll know. Like you will know that my Black health is worthy of this. That my Black health is a priority for me. You know that it is in our healthiest state, that it costs a lot less for us to live when we're healthy. Have you realized that? When I was talking, Miss Davis made me think about that, because we just started talking about life insurance. You know, she was talking about someone else and just asking a question for someone else, and we were just talking about life insurance, and I was just thinking, and I was just thinking about this topic when she thought about it. I said, wow, like life insurance is so inexpensive when you're healthy, but it can be so expensive if you don't live your life correctly. But for a person who exercises regularly, It's so much less. It's so inexpensive, especially if you get it early. You know, that if you have healthy habits and you're living and making good choices, you should be talking to me about your life insurance now. But a lot of times in our community, life insurance is so extremely unaffordable that what we buy when we're buying it, it's like we're not getting enough because it's just so unaffordable. It's almost like you're wasting your money because you're not getting anything that's really going to make a difference. I mean, it's just like hard to admit, but it's like, you know, we're, when I look at it, it's like that wasn't an effective use of your money the way that they did that. You would have done, you should have done it another way. Like a lot, but the, definitely your health is so important. Yeah, healthy and young. But so many young people are taking their health for granted, smoking, smoking and just because, you can smoke marijuana and you think that it's legal, it doesn't mean that it is something that you should be doing. It doesn't mean that it's not impacting your ability to breathe. It doesn't mean that it is good for you. It does not mean, like, just because something is legal, it doesn't mean that it is good for us. It doesn't mean that it is our best choice. But, it's still like, that I don't understand, like, that we, I don't know. But I do understand that life is hard. And I do understand, like, and like I get to the end of my day, because every day I get up at like 4 a.m. 4 a.m. and I go to the gym, and I go to the gym and I work out on every day, and I lift every day, and I do cardio every day, and and I still don't look perfect. And it's been like that my whole life. So it's never been easy for me. I've always had, that challenge of, and I watch my food every day, and I don't eat processed food, and I don't eat dairy, and I don't eat sugar, and I don't eat bread, and I don't smoke, and I don't drink. I have a long list of what I don't do. Ask my husband. I know. I know. Oh my goodness. Oh, yep. And it's like that. And but you can't, but I just can't give up. I just can't get up. But at the same time, I have to be thankful because I'm a grown woman and I've started my business in 1995 and I'm still standing. And it might have a lot to do with that list of what I don't do. And it might have a lot to do with what I do. So it could be, like it could be frustrating, like to a lot of people, like that. Oh goodness, ain't no way I'm gonna live like that, like this and that. But I want to be here for my clients, and it is, thank God, rare for me to not feel good. That is a blessing. I've been in business since 1995. I had my child on a Friday. I was working that Monday after I delivered her naturally. That is a blessing. You know, like, those are like things that we really should think about. Like, we want to, if we want to be healthy, there's going to be things that we're going to have to focus on sacrificing and discipline. And as entrepreneurs, no, I live my life for you. I live my life for you because we need Black examples of entrepreneurship. We need Black examples of entrepreneurship that have been in business for a long time. No, businesses have started for us every day, but you need to know that JB Bryan Financial Group started on March 10th, 1995, and it's still here by the grace of God. It's still here. It's still here. And I'm still serving you. And we can do that. And you can do that. And that it's repeatable. It's repeatable. And it's sustainable. And that, but that's through a commitment, you know, to serving our community. And that Black health is important because of that. Like, you know, I mean, Black health is a huge component of entrepreneurship. You know, one of my clients was, you know, telling me the other day, like, that he was like, you know, I dropped my papers off, you know, to my tax preparer. He said, you know, JB, and he told me come by tomorrow and pick him up, and he died that night. You know, like, just like that. Just like that. Young guy. Life is full of choices. Life is full of choices. So, like, you know, I know, like, my title is like, oh, we exercise to make more money, you know, but, you know, that I exercise to keep it moving, you know, to keep my heart pumping. And do you know that there is a direct correlation between heart health and resistance exercising? Know that it is very important to be strong in order to reduce your chances of having a heart attack. But we are not told that enough. That yes, it is important for us to walk and be active, and yes, we've got to do that. But as we walk and when we finish, we have to go and lift weights. We have to keep our bodies strong so that the blood that is within us can continue to help. Our muscles have to help our heart. Our body, our heart needs help. Our heart needs help. You know, my father used to take like 5 or 6 high blood pressure medicines. And he would say, I don't know what to do to get my blood pressure to go down. He said, the doctors just don't know what to do to get my blood pressure to go down. Not one time did the doctors ever say, my dad was a PhD, Dr. Bryan, you should do some resistance exercise. Dr. Bryan, while you're walking, do you have any weights? You should join the gym. You should get stronger. Get your muscles stronger. Get your legs stronger. Get your arms stronger. Get stronger. Get stronger. Get stronger. Get stronger. Not one time. Not one time. So I say to you, if you are like many Black people who have a heart, a blood pressure problem, get stronger. Get stronger. get stronger. If you ever want any more information on that about resistance training, getting stronger, yes, I am a competitive power lifter. But I don't do it for living. I don't charge people. I don't train people in that. But I love you. So if there's ever anything I can do, turn you on to some other people that do that, just let me know. Like, I can tell you my major lifts and stuff that I do, but just do it. Do it. Yes. Yes. Mr. Jefferson says, I agree. Your results from their health check will determine what you will pay. They know the majority of non-white applicants will not qualify for lower rates. And and we have to be willing to spend our money on ourselves. I spend on myself. And I think as an entrepreneur, I've always had to take care of myself. And I think that when you work for other people and you have all these benefits, you kind of get into this habit of thinking that it's supposed to be covered. So when it's not covered, you think you're not supposed to have it. So when you're an entrepreneur, it's not covered. Nothing's covered. God covers me. If God provides a client that is blessing me with the opportunity to serve them and I get the income that I can do it, I'm covered. Because God allowed me to get the income to cover it. Amen, Ms. Anderson. Mr. Jones, Ms. Davis. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm covered. You cover yourself. When you worked, you covered. God covered you with that job. Spend that money on you. You can't take it with you. That's what it's for. Take care of yourself. I don't, sometimes I've heard people say, I'm not going to spend that. Why not? I'm not going to pay that for that. And you're talking about something for yourself, for your own health, for your own health. So if this is something for your health, you would spend more on a car than on something for your health. A car supersedes your health. A car supersedes your heart, your leg, your arm. A car or a house, a thing supersedes you. We really need to pray on that. It's not okay, right? That's right. It's man, right? It's not okay. I didn't put y'all chats up. I'm sorry. So next week I'll be back. I'm sorry it didn't let y'all in the studio, but definitely I appreciate your chats. But next week I'll be back. I want to talk more about our health. If you have a topic that you'd like to talk about regarding your health and your wealth, please let me know. I will be here for you. Remember, our membership meeting is at 9 a.m. and there is a complimentary Afro Economics membership available. And the full membership allows us to do financial planning together. And we'll always have our full service investments, brokerage accounts, IRAs, insurance, annuities, PNC, which is car, home, life, health. I'm licensed in all of that. So definitely let me know what your financial goals are. and will help you along the way. So but you matter. Be encouraged. Be encouraged. Have a wonderful weekend. Take care, and thank you. Thank you so much for your wonderful comments. You all are the best. I appreciate you. I'll stay here a moment. If you have any comments before you check out, let me know. Check out the YouTube channel, Afro Economics with JB Bryan, and on all the social media platforms as well out there. Oh. Thank you, Mr. Jones. You're great. Thank you. Miss you in the studio. Amen. 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 I thank him too. Amen. Amen. Oh, that's right. Oh, you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you, Ms. Anderson. I miss you. You'll see me soon. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Jefferson. Oh. Mm.